Hi there, my name is Sam Horodesky of Strathern Design, and these are my comments from the B2B UX Roundtable that occurred on March 30th. We actually started off the session with someone asking about their approach for using icons to internationalize their product. And their point was that they thought that an easy way to help their product become more internationalized would be to stop using labels, which require translation, and start using graphics. So that got us talking about overall the use of graphics, period, for buttons and icons and things like that. Now, I think for the internationalization case, there are definitely some issues. So first of all, different colors mean different things in different cultures. So it's simply not as straightforward as making an icon and expecting it to work in another culture. There's other common things like, let's say you want to be talking about money. If you include a dollar sign in your icon, well, that's not going to work for other countries. And then there's other things like a common icon that we use in the world of B2B is the filter icon. And what is the filter icon? It's like a beaker, or I think maybe what it is actually is supposed to be a filter from coffee. Like, I can never quite tell. And it took me a long time to understand that that's what that beaker thing was. It meant filter. But the point is that that's like an English thing. I mean, using the word filter to mean filter is totally in English. And if you do that in a different language, it probably won't work at all. So using graphics for the purpose of internationalization does create problems. I really don't think there's a way of getting away from doing translation. And like I was saying, actually, more generically, if we want to use icons a lot, I mean, they can be really problematic when it comes to filters, settings, integration, databases or database settings. In B2B, there's all these obscure things that we want to set and change. And I've been asked multiple times to come up with, with graphics for all sorts of really, really abstract, strange concepts that are hard to do, even if, like 5 words. And the truth is, some things are just not amenable to having a good icon. So that's a more general problem in UI, is if you want to be using icons all the time, there's going to be plenty of concepts, especially in B2B, where that doesn't really work. Now, finally, there's actually even a more compelling reason, which is that that text is important. And that's that people automatically read text. And what that means is their brain automatically reads it. So there's a famous study, it's called the Stroop effect. I'll put it in the notes. I won't go over it here. I mean, it's a really fascinating study. It was done a long time ago. And it shows that if you put a bunch of words in front of someone, they can't not read them. Like they read them automatically as long as they know how to read. And so your clearest pathway to someone's brain is to actually give them text. This Stroop study is really powerful. So I think, I've given you several reasons why actually labels, although they're not all that interesting, are actually more useful when it comes to trying to convey meaning to the user. So what is the proper use of graphics? Well, no one wants a user interface that is just graphics and tables, right? Like, that's super ultra boring, and they're not cool, and they don't actually help establish an emotional relationship with the user. So absolutely, there needs to be ways to add icons and graphical interest to the screen. And so, but you just need to think of it that way, right? So that when you're doing design, the idea is, okay, if the goal, for meaning, I'm going to use words because it's easier to do. It's easier to convey exact meaning, and it's read automatically by the brain. But I don't want my UI to be completely boring. So how am I going to use graphics, and where am I going to use graphics, or where am I going to use icons? So to just summarize my point on that, for your central goal of communicating meaning, tech for internationalization or otherwise, labels are where it's at, but you do need to look at graphics just so that the UI doesn't look boring and it maintains visual interest. Thanks very much. Our next session is in about a week. It's April 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.